Alright, so we're going to start on the outside of the walkthrough here. So first off, we do have our entertainment. We have a TV here. You're going to notice that your TV does have a power button just right underneath the center of the TV. Once that guy turns on there, you are going to be able to access your over-the-air cable. Now, if you do happen to have the option for going to get dish satellite service, we do have the Wally box inside that you can activate and call once you are home. Now, coming over here, we're going to have a couple different items to look at. We got our Truma, their tankless water system that actually heats up our water throughout the whole system here. Now, you're not going to have to worry about too much maintenance on this guy, but you do have a compartment that does open up here. Now, one thing to mention is that you do have a on and off switch for your power if you ever wanted to go ahead and turn it off for storage. Now, down below, as you can see, we do have our Cummins 3200 generator here. It has been serviced for you and is all ready to go and be ready to use. Now, if you ever do need to go ahead and change your own oil or plan on doing any maintenance yourself, you can open up the access door panel down below and it will be able to allow you to go ahead and change out oil or look at any other components on the inside. Have our exterior to our furnace. On our furnace here, it does get really, really hot towards the exhaust. Definitely want to keep our hands away from it. Now, if you happen to have a bug problem in your area, we do sell bug screens that do protect those. Helps that components stay safe and not have to worry about any backfire on the LP system. Now, down below here, we do have a storage compartment. In the storage compartment, it does happen to have a quick connect for a connection to LP. You can go ahead and use an exterior barbecue, fire pit, whatever you'd like. It is hooked up to your propane tank. Alright, next here, in the rear, we do have a storage compartment that does go all the way to the other side. Now, once we get around to that other corner there, I'll show you the other compartment door and we'll take a peek at it. Now, located here on the rear, not too much to have to go over. However, it's good to point out that we do happen to have our backup camera located at the top of the unit here. And if we go all the way down, we do happen to have our receiving unit for any type of towing. If you do ever want to set up a tow dinghy or any type of tow bar setup, we do have more information in the parts department for you. Now, last thing to show you here on the very end is our gravity fill. So, in the RV world, you have two different options for water. You have accessing water from your freshwater tank or accessing water from a city fixture. In order to go ahead and fill this bad boy up, you're just going to take a hose, put it right into the spout, and it will fill. Now, as it fills and it becomes full, it will automatically go ahead and start to overflow, and water will fall out of this tube there. Now, it's good to mention that anytime we fill water into our gravity fill, we're filling up our fresh tank. And when we fill our freshwater tank, the only way to access water from that is to go ahead and turn on our water pump. We're going to go ahead and continue talking about plumbing at another point during this, but I'll make sure to reference that later down the road. All right, now coming around the corner, as I was talking about before, we do have our rear storage facility as it peeks through the opposite side. Now, next we're going to talk about power. Right here is our storage compartment for our built-in 30 amp power cord. So we happen to have 30 amp service. If you ever find yourself needing a larger adapter for 50 amp, we do sell adapters that go from 30 to 50, also from 30 to 110. And you can call us inside, we can get any of those items for you. Now, coming over this way, we're going to talk about plumbing here. We have our shower hose, hot and cold options, and we also happen to have a water filter. Now your water filter is for any filtered water that's going through your system there. It's good to change out your water filter at least once every 3 months if being used, and definitely take the water filter out if it's being stored. Now, a couple different items here to take a peek at inside. First, pull this away here, will be our low point drains. For our hot and our cold water, we have low point drains that, if open, will allow the water to go ahead and leave the unit, so that way it could stay dry, say if we were storing it. Those are located right here. We have red and blue there, and as soon as they were open, it would vacate any water left over in the unit. Now, aside from that, we also happen to have that water pump switch that I was talking about. If we wanted to access any type of fresh water from our tank, this switch here would need to be in the on position. Now, if we are connected at, say, a state park, and we wanted to go ahead and pressurize the unit without having to use a water pump, we have what's called our city water feature. So our city water feature is actually just located right here. This is where we would go ahead and use a fresh water hose or a food grade water hose to go ahead and connect up to this port to allow it to go ahead and pressurize the entire unit and all of the apex lines that are in there. Now, aside from that guy, we also happen to have this other nozzle up top. Now this nozzle up top is going to be a good segue to talk about dumping. So this here is what we like to call a black tank flush valve. This here is where we would hook up a hose and allow water to go through that line to clean out the black tank. It will oxalate water through that area to go ahead and clean it up, so if you are having a sensor issue, or maybe you are noticing that your flow when you do dump your black tank isn't consistent, you can find that using this here will help you maintain a healthy amount of. Go ahead and we'll end that one right there. I was